Hey, welcome back to the Quick Speed Shop. Today we're working on my 1946 Studebaker truck here. Here it is. We're down in the pole barn. We're going to pull this thing on out. What I want to do today, down in here, I've got an AMC 258 straight 6 powering this truck. It's got a factory BBD non-step back, non-feedback, I should say, 2-barrel carburetor off like a 78 to, well, 82 on down AMC motor. I think it's off like a 77 or 78. Something like that. But the thing runs like absolute garbage. The accelerator pump is completely shot, and I've tried rebuilding it. It doesn't work good. The choke is marginal, and it's got a huge stumble in it. Flat spot, runs like garbage. For 70 bucks, I have a whole pile of these carburetors, but they're all pretty much, 40, 50 years old. They're worn out. They leak. I try to rebuild them. They run good for a little while, then they turn into garbage again. So I'm going to bite the bullet, or I bought the bullet. Went on eBay Motors and bought a brand new Chinese carburetor for 70 bucks. So if it works, it works. Hopefully it does, and it's got to run better than this thing does because it's been running like garbage for the last couple of years. So let's fire this thing up. We'll take it for a spin, and then we'll put the new carburetor on. Choke doesn't work right, one of the problems. Yeah, so this thing's idling halfway decent now, but when it's cold, sometimes it's colder out, it doesn't want to idle at all. You heard that huge flat spot? Listen. If I barely roll into it, but you drive it, sometimes you got to get on. It's like blah on his face. It's probably got, I can hear a vacuum leak. It's probably leaking around the throttle shaft bushings, and it's been driving like garbage. It's going into rough idle now. You can hear it. Check it out. As the choke opens, it's going to idle like garbage. So I've been driving this thing. It's really temperamental. So we're going to slap that new carburetor on. Let's go for a spin. Pine trees. Okay, hear how it's idling real rough now. It's warming up and now it's going to idle like garbage. Falls on its face. Okay, that pop. Runs like absolute garbage. I gotta play with the throttle and make it go. Ready? Watch, I'm gonna hammer on it. Ready? Just about stalls. Garbage. So let's go back to the shop. You've seen enough. We're gonna, before this thing gets too hot, get this carburetor off here, and we'll put the other one on. Put the other one on. 110 horsepower and clapped out action. This friggin' old AMC 258. She's got the torque, she'll go, but need a good carburetor. Alright, well the truck's cooling off. Let's open the carburetor here. Ooh, look at this. Comes with a nice little prepackaged box. There it is, bam! Unboxing. Ooh, look at that. We got a repop BBD non-feedback carburetor here. Comes with all the vacuum ports capped off. Ported vacuum port for the distributor. These are the emissions tubes. If you had the factory AMC application, these go down to the emissions tube hole. Electric choke. Choke pull off. Throttle connection here. Right here. And look at that. 2 idle adjustment screws on the front. 5/16 fuel line goes up front here. And where is the... oh, look at this. They even give you the air cleaner hold down. A lot of times they don't come with that. That goes on here. Got a couple of thick carburetor gaskets there. This was like $71 on eBay. So if this thing runs way better than the one I got, I'm going to be super happy for 70 bucks. Just a little piece of spring steel here. It just spreads across the... there's little holes in the body. Just spreader. Easier said than done. Hoop. Hoop. I got to. Boom. There we go. Installed that for our air cleaner. It is... apparently it's Most Plus brand. Apparently it's Most Plus right there. Made in China. So I don't like to try to buy stuff from China if I don't have to, but I'm in a pickle where I've, you know, like I said, I've tried to rebuild all my original carburetors multiple times, and they're just wore out, and the thing runs like, truck runs like garbage. So we're gonna go ahead and try this for 70 bucks. You know, it's worth trying it. I mean, it looks just like a factory BBD, and yeah, looks identically like it, and hopefully the rubber isn't complete Chinese junk rubber like rubber usually is. Hopefully it'll stay up for a little while. Here's the original carburetor. Oh, I'm going to need to save this. This is the air cleaner gasket, which didn't come with the new carburetor, so I'm going to make sure I serve that. But I got my vacuum line for the vacuum advance for the distributor. Yeah. Pull that off, lay that aside. Electric choke wire. Fuel line is 5/16. I'm going to hold off just a second because this thing is hot. I'll disconnect my throttle return springs here. Which is the easier way to do it. You always want to double up your throttle return springs in case you got one break. You got another one. It's 4 little 7/16 nuts that go on here that hold it down. You got your throttle rod here, which is a spring clip that just clips on. The throttle rod also runs the kick down, is mounted on a bracket on the intake, so you don't have to worry about adjusting kick down issues. You can see here I've put a bolt in the accelerator pump, trying to get that to work better, and this thing was all kinds of bougie action. Let's see here, got to remove the PCV valve line from the back of the carburetor, and then it's pretty much taking the 4 nuts off and this thing will come right off. It's real simple to change one of these. Oop, gasoline. Just a little bit. Perfect. AMC motor. This engine's 1983. On the later model AMC motors, they cast in the head. 83 right there. It came out of a 1983 AMC Spirit GT. Should be ready to liberate our carburetor. Just like that. See, it's got the plastic factory carb spacer on here with the factory. This is a factory AMC intake that goes to this engine. Here's your vacuum for the power brakes. It's tapped into the intake down there. But nice and clean and simple. Everything's easy to get at. Let's go look at both carburetors side by side, and we'll pop the new one on right on here. Now, as you can see here, the carburetors, although they're both BBDs, this is the earlier model BBD with the external accelerator pump, and this is the 82 on down, probably 77 to 82 AMC style BBD with the internal accelerator pump that's got in here in the vacuum. It's got the internal accelerator pump here and the emissions tubes. These are just like breathers. I'll probably just plug these up. This one's plugged. Breather, I believe it's a breather for the fuel bowl, and that's a breather for emissions. I'm not running any emissions on my truck, obviously, any canisters or anything, so I'll plug that up. But yeah, as you can see, the bottom half of these are identical, but the top plate, this is the earlier top plate on this one. Here we go. I got the two bolts in the back. I'm just gonna install them with this, and I set it on there. Oh. Nope. That would have been bad. Won't drop the bolts in the intake. That's that way to go. And they're stainless, so I wouldn't be able to get them out with a magnet. Perfect. Bam, there we go. Installed. Installed. Put the two little guy nuts on the front. Boom and boom. This looks like $1 million. Fuel line goes in here, tightens right up. Bam. PCB line goes back on there. Electric choke wire goes right on there. Just like factory. It's set right on there just like factory. I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to tighten all my nuts up, tighten all the clamps, check everything out, and plug out this breather port. We can pull this rubber plug off here, off the side, hook our vacuum advance port back up to the side of the carburetor. She's running, that's a good sign. Alright, it's running, the choke's on here, the choke should click off. Ready? Alright, kick it down to low idle. We'll adjust the low idle speed here. Trying to adjust the warm idle speed here. I'll put it in gear and see what it does. I put it in gear, see it labors. It's not too bad right now. I think we'll leave it there. It's probably about 750, 800, something like that. Now for the idle mixture, we'll go in here to the 2 idle screws, crank them in until it starts to labor, then back it off like half a turn. That's a lot. Hold on now. We run them both in a little bit, and we'll go from there. Okay, it's starting to change the idle a little bit. I'll back it off. Seems pretty strong. Let's take it for a little rip here and see how it does. I cranked the idle down. I might have cranked it down a little too far. It's down in the vibration mode here. This truck rattles a lot. Don't worry about that. Let's try it out. Whoa! Truck is a rattle box. Do a test here. Oh, this thing would never do a burnout before. It just did it. Bam! I can hear the idle surging just a little bit. I'll play with the idle mixture, but it seems to run strong and way better than it was, and won't be leaking like the other carburetors. So I think it's pretty successful what was going on here. Got her dialed in, so I'll just play around with the tuning a little bit as I drive it, get it dialed in. But that was a successful carburetor swap out here on the old Studebaker truck. I should be able to start running it down the road and get a lot more miles on it without like bogging and stumbling and popping and banging and everything else is doing. It should work fantastic now. So I guess $70 eBay Chinese carburetor to the win. So that's pretty good. Thanks for watching. I'm going to keep tinkering and set my adjustments a little bit better and take this thing out for a spin down the road. So until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you again building cool car stuff here at the Quick Speed Shop. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home.